And I can show you how you can start to heal yourself without money, without time.
We can end chronic disease. We can get people immune strong. We can get people metabolically fit for the first time.
This is our door out of chronic disease.
Meet Dr. Mindy Pelz, a top nutrition and functional health expert and a best-selling author. She is a recognized leader in the alternative health field and a pioneer in the fasting movement. In this video, we distill the essence of her teachings and highlight the top 6 foods she consumes to promote effective autophagy, seamlessly fitting within her.
Nobody cures you. You cure yourself. And so you have to start to look at the human body as this self-healing organism that's always figuring out how to keep you alive.
First, understand what autophagy is.
Autophagy is where the cells realize that there's no nutrients. It's nutrients and blood sugar, glucose, coming into the cell. It's like an internal mechanism where the cell goes, nothing's coming in. Okay, we got to make sure, A, that we're a better version of ourselves. So it'll push out viruses, it'll push out bacteria out of the cell. The other thing that it does is it'll say, hey, you know what? This cell's going rogue. This cell's becoming a cancer cell. This is a senescent zombie cell that's going to start to age you quickly. They're a weak member of the team. In this fasted state where no glucose is coming in, no nutrients are coming in, you're a liability and we need to get rid of you. And so it gets rid of those cells.
Autophagy is a natural cellular process in which cells degrade and recycle their own components. The term autophagy comes from the Greek words auto, meaning self, and phagy, meaning eating. Essentially, autophagy is the body's way of cleaning out damaged cells in order to regenerate newer, healthier cells. So for autophagy to take place, the body needs to be in a fasted state. Then what happens in a fasted state?
What is a fasted state? And it's really when that blood sugar comes down enough that it triggers the body to switch. 8 hours, you start to make the switch. By about 12 hours, your body's now starting to make a good dose of ketones. The brain is excited, so you're getting that mental clarity. Ketones turn off the hunger hormone. So you also, when you switch over, there's going to be a point in which you're not hungry. And that all happens at about 12 hours. At 13 hours, we start to see that growth hormone goes up, which is what slows down the aging process, helps us burn fat. We also see in men, we see testosterone start to go up. 1,300% increase in testosterone with just a 15-hour time period. We see inflammation, CRP goes down, which is an inflammatory blood marker, will start to go down. In fact, one of the greatest studies ever done on women was they took a group of women after they had had traditional breast cancer treatment, and they had them just fast 13 hours every single day. And they noticed that there was a 64% less reoccurrence of breast cancer in the group that all they did is fast, was 13 hours a day. They didn't even change their food. They just fasted. So check this out. Research shows at 15 hours, we see growth hormone go up. Okay, growth hormone is the hormone that keeps you young and helps you burn fat. But if you stay in that fasted window, you keep going 17 hours, your brilliant body turns within and it goes, wait a second. No food's coming in. We better get stronger. 17 hours, we stimulate autophagy. The cells start to repair themselves and old aging cells you get rid of. 24 hours, your whole gut resets and you get intestinal stem cells that come in and repair the whole inner lining of the gut. 36 hours, your body goes and finds that stubborn fat specifically around the belly and it starts to burn that for energy. 48 hours with no food coming in, now all of a sudden you're getting new dopamine receptor sites. Okay, why are you getting that? Because your brain has got to get motivated to go find food. So you reboot the whole dopamine system, and then 72 hours, the whole immune system reboots itself and recycles itself. That's without a drug. That's without a supplement. That's why I'm like, we have to get this out to the world. This is our door out of chronic disease.
Then should I go and fast for 72 hours all the time? The answer is no.
The 3-day water fast twice a year is a great time to just get rid of senescent cells that are aging you quickly, or cells that are going to go rogue and become tumors. Get rid of those. The 48-hour fast once a quarter if you have a mental health challenge, if you are depressed and anxious and you're looking for a variety of tools to help you boost your moods, then do a 48-hour fast once a quarter. 36-hour fast, that's really there for the person who's just so frustrated and cannot lose weight. So if you're really struggling with weight loss, throw a once a month, throw a 36-hour fast at it. Then the 24 hours and below, I have people vary those in a weekly, depending on where they are in their cycle. But one 24-hour fast a week can be really miraculous. Those are the 1 meal a day people. Do it once a week. Don't do it every day. And then most people are doing either a combination of something between 12 hours and 17 hours on a regular basis, except the week before their cycle.
When fasting, it's crucial to be mindful of your food choices. Here are the top 6 foods that Dr. Mindy frequently consumes to maximize the benefits of fasting. First, avocado, especially great for breakfast.
I love breaking a fast with fat. Why would you break a fast with fat? The reason is it kills the hunger hormone. So it'll shut off the hunger hormone. You say, okay, I'm going to eat fat first, and then I'm going to wait an hour before I eat anything else. If you do that little trick, you're going to find within an hour you're not going to want to eat what you thought you might want to eat. That immediate desire to boomerang will go away. I often break my fast with an avocado. Super easy, just cut it in half, eat it.
More interesting way Dr. Mindy enjoys avocado is eating with probiotic foods.
I do a lot of sauerkrauts, kimchis. I'll take an avocado and put kimchi and sauerkraut on top, and I combine that probiotic rich with the fat. That's my most common way I break a fast. But now you're replenishing these good bacteria. You're feeding these good bacteria first that are going to help you lose weight.
Next food is cacao.
Cacao, which is chocolate. The Mars company actually went in and did research on what chocolate does for autophagy. Now, that doesn't mean you go out and eat a Mars bar. I would prefer that you would go after clean cacao sources. So, couple different things that you can look for when you're buying chocolate. You can look for the word cacao, and the number 1 ingredient is cacao. So, number 1. Number 2 is cacao butter. But when you do chocolate, you want to really go after the really extremely dark. So this is the darker, the more chocolate in there, the more cacao. The study done on cacao, just for you guys that are research hounds, was done through the Journal of Agricultural Food Chemistry in 2009, and it was done on liver cells. And so they found that when they gave cacao to these liver cells, that it stimulated autophagy.
Next is coffee.
Next is coffee.
Coffee. They did a study out of Cell Cycle in 2014, and they found that 1 to 4 hours after you drank coffee, they noticed an increase in autophagy in the liver, in muscle tissue, and in your heart, in heart tissue. Here are my recommendations for coffee. They need to be organic. So we know pesticides is going to create more cell death. It's going to create more toxins in cells. The other big issue we have with coffee is that it can often have a lot of mold. So you want to make sure it's organic and you want to make sure it's mold free. Otherwise, you're trying to stimulate autophagy, but you're adding toxins in. Doesn't really make sense to me.
For coffee lovers, you may have a question whether you can enjoy coffee during the fasting period.
And I would say of the millions of people we've watched fast, for most people, coffee is going to work in your fasting window. Black coffee. So now in the book and on my YouTube channel, I've really emphasized you should do a blood sugar test to make sure that it does work for you. And we can talk about that in a moment. But with coffee, if it's black, it's going to be fine in your fasting window. If you add MCT oil, even better, because it'll start to move you over into this fat-burning ketogenic system quicker. Once you start adding cream, you're going to have to really do the blood sugar test and see if cream works for you.
Another drink which is great for boosting autophagy is green tea.
Hopefully you know by now green tea is considered a health food. It's a great alternative if you don't want to get too much stimulation from coffee. Nutrient Journal 2019 did a study on the neuroprotective effects of green tea. They also found that it stimulates autophagy in any cell that it was exposed to. It's one of those universal stimulators of autophagy. So super cool. And then bergamot tea was actually done on both a mice study and a human study. And they found that bergamot oil, so like an essential oil, created autophagy in human neuroblastomas, cancer again. So this is nerve tissue. These are tumors in cancer. So, and that was done in 2014.
Now let's talk about olive oil, a kitchen staple.
Olive oil. You want to make sure that it's organic. You want to make sure that it's never rancid, so you want to smell it. Like, it shouldn't live in your countertop. It shouldn't live in your cupboards for a long time. If it goes rancid, it's not going to stimulate autophagy. It'll actually create cellular inflammation. The other thing you don't want to do with olive oil is heat it up. So if you heat it up and put it on a pan and it starts to smoke, you've now turned it into an inflammatory fat. The research on olive oil is also really cool in the sense that they're finding that it has an effect on the beta amyloid and tau proteins that are associated with Alzheimer's. They also have been doing studies on olive oil with cancer. So it was done on metastatic osteosarcoma, but try to use as much olive oil as possible. I would even say you could take a scoop of it and have a tablespoon a day if you're looking, especially you could even do that within your fasting window.
The final top foods on the list to boost autophagy is curcumin.
Curcumin is that really magical component of turmeric. There's also a lot of different ways that you can get curcumin into your diet. You can sprinkle it on your food. So we always buy our spices organic, so you can sprinkle it on your food. We like to actually get the turmeric root at our local Whole Foods, and we like to juice it and put it in a juicer and just drink it with a green juice. It's a little woody tasting, but it can be, and you can also cut it up and put it into stir fries as well, but that is a wonderful way to get a big dose of curcumin. The research done on turmeric is showing that it increases autophagy in pancreatic cells. They also did a study in 2019 on tick-borne disease and found that curcumin inhibited the proliferation of the disease by stimulating apoptosis, which is cell death, and by stimulating autophagy in other cells, which cleans the cell up. If you put turmeric with black pepper, it goes into the cell at a deeper level.
Now on to the conclusion from Dr. Mindy Pelz.
You need to set up a long-term game to stimulate autophagy. So if you're not putting any effort into stimulating autophagy, your cells are building up with toxins.